Alright, Leah Doran, I have seen your videos. I've been away from YouTube for such a long time. This is mainly a criticism of your most recent video, or one of your most recent videos regarding the events going on in Wisconsin. And I am completely against your position here. You are you're bashing the teachers, the union, for going on strike, and you calling it an illegal strike. Um, right there in our Constitution, we are allowed to assemble, and um, what? And that's not my main criticism, by the way. That's not my main criticism. That's one of them. We should be allowed to assemble. Um, I had the numbers here somewhere. We had yesterday. There were only 3,000 Tea Party protesters, as adverse to was I believe it was 65,000 union protesters. And I don't know how many of those are students. I don't think a good amount of them were. I've seen a lot of video footage, and the majority of people do not seem to be children. And, in fact, it's the opposite. And if, what do people protest? What is a good thing to protest? A good thing to protest is to protest against an oligarchy. And right now, they're basically, forcing this. Collective bargaining? Screw you guys. You guys can't have that. Okay, taking away workers' rights will just lead to very low wages. I live in North Carolina, and teachers here make shit. They make shit money. They cry. They cry when they get a bonus. It's horrible down here. Unions, one word of a union, goodbye job. Unions are a good thing. And while the system can occasionally get screwed up, someone's abusing the system, maybe, well then the system needs to be reworked. But, it's up to the people in the union in good conscience to, fix that for themselves. They can't, sit there and someone wants to fix it. They can't actually sit there and say, oh no, we're okay with it being gamed. That criticism needs to be brought up and it'll get changed. But you don't get rid of, the most effective part of unions. You don't bust them. That is violating the right of people to assemble. That is violating the right of people to have a voice in the matter. Also, in regards to what your thoughts were on PBS and NPR, I get most of my news from Democracy Now! And The Real News. I find them far more, or I find them very, very good news sources. Truthful, they raise criticisms, they criticize people from every angle. In fact, Bill Clinton got really ticked off at Amy Goodman for just being a journalist. So, she wasn't throwing him softballs. And the private enterprise controlling media just doesn't work. Or controlling journalism anyway, it doesn't work. And a good example, although you might disagree with me, would be Fox News. Although going into that question would require hours and hours and hours worth of documentation proving to you that case. Luckily, that has been proven, a lot of that by liberal viewer, who have only maybe once or twice found something disagreeable with from him. But overall, the majority of his stuff has been pretty spot on. Also, when you have media that can be paid for, or you have movements and organizations that are paid for by the oligarchy, that are paid for by the rich, and it's basically, how can you boycott anything anymore? People, they're kind of forced into buying everything. Okay, they shouldn't say they're forced into everything, but that's another criticism for later. But yeah, in regards to NPR and PBS, they're not like when I think of state media, I sit here and think of things that are like obey your government, do not disobey government, always obey, be a good citizen, pay your taxes always, obey. I don't see that coming from NPR or PBS. In fact, largely it's never the case. Now, I do think independently supported journalism is way better. I don't have anything fully. I will say I do not think corporate funded media works, or I do not think anything but independent media probably doesn't work, from what I can tell. You get fired. Also, what is your position on Citizens United versus the United States? Because I find that to be I find that to be very disrespectful to the people of the United States. Because then the interests of the corporations are more important than the people. When in fact, many times the people's interests are not those of the corporations. And I'm just not too sure that's a good decision. Actually, I think that's one of the few things I disagreed with Liberal Viewer. But that just makes it so that you can have the oligarchy even worse. Money can go to them, to politicians. Okay, money can go from the rich to the politicians now in unlimited amounts, and that's scary. That is scary. Anyway, that's it for now.